So I've been saying for a long time now that manifestation does not occur out there. Doesn't occur in what we've been calling physical reality. Manifestation always happens in here. It's inner completeness when you know so completely that what you want has already occurred and that it now has to be reflected in what you've been calling physical reality. When you know that, those two combine together, when you know that so well that you don't look for it out there. I mean, every time you look for a manifestation out here somewhere, was that phone call about what I did, or every time you do that, you disconnect from the power. How can you live in complete unquestioned knowing when you keep questioning it? Was that it? Was this from me? Did I do this? That's not unquestioned knowing. Unquestioned knowing is it now has to be reflected out there. So just let it go. Let it happen. See, even I get dragged into this. The only happening is in here. The only happening is in here. Let it reflect. Let it reflect out there. This is the reflection. It's the projection. However you want to see it. And you could say, like, but things happened that I had nothing to do with. I wasn't visualizing this. I wasn't fearing this. If your life is a movie, you're the projector, and everything in the projector has to make its way out onto the screen, out here. And there are things in your projector that you don't even know are there. Unconscious beliefs that we've all had for thousands of years. So you're not going to recognize it all. You're not going to know it all. But living this way is so beautiful. And it takes training, because look, there are scientific experiments that prove that this is right. There are scientific experiments that prove that what I'm telling you is absolutely true. And even when you dig in, for example, there was an experiment where in a glass vessel, they pull all the air out. There's a vacuum that sucks everything out of this glass vessel. So there's nothing in it. But we know there's still something in it, because atoms can't be pulled out. And then you put in DNA, and the atom has to reconfigure itself. The pattern of the DNA has to match the atom. The atom has to reconfigure itself to the DNA. Pull that DNA out, put another DNA in from someone else. The reconfiguration goes on. So in every emotion, something happens to you, right? And you have this emotion, whether it's good or bad, that emotion carries with it a fingerprint, a new strand of DNA, and a new signature, a new identity. And in that new identity changes everything. Your emotions, when they're real about something, good or bad, doesn't matter. They don't just feel good or bad, they change everything. And the reason why this is important is because we're looking for it out there. We're looking for it in what we've been calling physical reality, which, by the way, is neither physical nor real. But that's a different story. We're looking for it out there, and every time we look for it out there, we lose the manifestation, because we don't know anymore. Why would you look for it if you already know? If you really know, and there's a way to train this, you need to educate yourself so you know the science, you understand why it's true intellectually, but that can't be all, because then when you do that, when you learn that, and you know it really well, the next day you'll be like, yeah, I know, I watched the experiment and I read about it, and I know what you're talking about, but it just doesn't feel right. That's why we can't just know intellectually. We have to train the body to know. The body's got to live knowing. The body is the subconscious mind, so the body and the subconscious mind have to live knowing. That's why meditation is so valuable. So it's meditation is essential to unquestioned knowing and to live that way. If you can do this one thing, just this one thing, I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. Do this one thing. If you can live your life knowing that what you want most in life is already real, it's already true, and that it now has to be reflected. It has to. It has to. It has to come in what you've been calling physical reality. It has to be reflected out there. If you knew that it was already real and that it had to be reflected, and you lived your life that way, not only will you have everything. There's no better way to live life. There is no better way to live life.